So developments leading to the Bohr model. We have started. It is like we have started with the Bohr's model, but before we understand or before we revise the Bohr model, we should revise some other concepts also. That first, I'll start with the wave. Okay. Wave is a transfer of energy. That is one, in the simplest form we can say, it is a transfer of energy from one place to another. But how wave is generated? It is like whenever charged particle is accelerated. For example, when electron is accelerated, it creates a alternating electric and the magnetic field perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the propagation. Means in this, I will say that this is where the charged particle is accelerating in this direction. This may be electric field, this may be a electric field, and this is what? This is the perpendicular magnetic field. I'll show it in a dotted form over here. This is a perpendicular magnetic field which is perpendicular to the electric field, like both the fields are perpendicular to one another and also perpendicular to the propagation. This is a wave definition. There are different parameters of wave also. In short, if I want to say that this is the wave, simplest wave, this is the wave, these are the cycles of the wave, this is one cycle. So lambda over here, this is the crest, this is a trough, this both are crest and both are trough. A distance between any two crest or a two trough is called as a wavelength. So first is a wavelength, right? We should know wavelength, lambda. Second is frequency. Frequency is represented by symbol nu, which is, it is a number of waves taking place or a number of cycles, this kind of cycle, number of cycle taking place in 1 second. That is what the frequency is. Then third is speed, that is represented by c. Speed is speed of any electromagnetic radiation is always is equal to the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8, which is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Then this is the thing. Now if you want to find a relationship between them, what is the relationship between them? Is that nu is equal to c by lambda. There is one more quantity which I'll say is about wave number, that is a wave number. Okay, which is number of waves. This is a number of waves, this is one wave, number of waves per unit length, right? And it is represented by nu bar, which is equal to 1 by lambda. Means inverse of the wave is equal to nu bar. Means same formula could be written as nu is equal to c nu bar. This is a formula. These are the two formulas which will be very helpful. So these are the things which you should know, where it is applied. The simple where it will always applicable is from the exam point of view is that you need to always convert a frequency to a wavelength or wavelength to a frequency. That is where it will be used. Like for example, I'll put one question: calculate the wavelength. Okay, wavelength of radiation whose frequency is 12 into 10 raised to 6 hertz. Okay, or we'll take this to be 12 into 10 raised to 12 hertz. If this is the frequency, how will convert that to? It's very simple. We know that nu is equal to c upon lambda. So we are told to find the wavelength, right? So lambda is equal to c upon nu. Right, so c is what? Speed of light, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and frequency is, this is hertz, right? So this is 12 into 10 raised to 12. Hertz means it is also is equal to per second, or we can write hertz as a per second also, right? So this is 3 ones are 3 fours are 1 by 4 is 0.25, right? 25 into 10 raised to minus 8 meter. So what we can say is that over here lambda is equal to 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter, which is also is equal to 2.5. This 10 raised to minus 9 is nano. 2.5 nanometer is the wavelength. Okay, so this is the brief revision of the waves. Next what we are going to learn is a Planck's quantum theory. Okay, this says about a particle nature of the light. This theory is about proves the particle nature of light. So according to this theory, atoms or molecules, according to this theory, atoms or molecules absorb or emit radiations not in continuous manner, but in discrete manner. Okay, so according to this theory, atoms or molecules absorb or emit radiations not in a continuous manner but in a discrete manner. Means it is in the form of packets of energy. We call that to be a packets right over here. That is called as a packet of energy. Okay, or it is also called as a photon. Okay, one packet is called as a one photon. So what he says that energy of a photon or energy of that packet, small packet of the energy, is directly proportional to the frequency. So energy, to remove this proportionality sign, we introduce a h, which is a Planck's constant, whose value h over here is 6.626 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joule second. Right. So this is a formula for a one photon. This is a formula for one photon. For large number of photons, a formula energy will be is equal to n h nu. N is the number of photons. Over here. Means, like, what we can say is that, again, one more conclusion could be made from this formula is that energy is quantized. It is quantized. Energy is quantized, or energy is integral multiple of integral multiple of h nu. Means, what form of energy we can have? We can have energy is equal to h nu, or it could be 2h nu, or it could be 3h nu, it could be 4 times h nu. It will be never a fraction like 1.5 times h nu. This is what a Planck's theory conclusion. Okay, so what other formulas could be derived from this is that E is equal to n h nu is c by lambda. This could be another formula. So these are the things important from the developments leading to the Bohr model. Okay, here is the question. Question asked is electromagnetic radiations of 663 nanometer is just sufficient to ionize the atom of metal A. The ionization energy of metal A in kilojoules per mole. Now see, the question is, like, there is a metal, like this is a part of we can say a photoelectric effect, like here what they are saying is that there is an atom, there are atoms over here, it is irradiated with certain radiation whose wavelength is 663 nanometer, right? So calculate the ionization energy of the metal. Now what is the meaning of the ionization energy? See, ionization energy by definition is it is energy required to remove outermost electron right from neutral atom or a neutral, like I am talking about a first ionization enthalpy from a neutral gaseous atom for 1 mole of atom, right? 1 mole means for 6.02 into 10 to 23 atoms. So like energy required to remove the electrons, outermost electrons of 6.023 into 10 to 23 atoms, right? So here what I can say is that whatever electromagnetic radiations which is supplied will be is equal to ionization energy. Now I am using the word ionization energy. The other clue in this problem is that they have asked, it is not just kilojoule, it is kilojoules per mole. Means if I want to write this energy is equal to what? E is equal to h nu, right? E is equal to h nu. So this will be what? NH nu. Now what is N over here? I'll write it here. This electromagnetic radiation which is supplied is equal to NH. Nu is what? Nu is C by lambda. N is, since this is kilojoules per mole and it is ionization enthalpy, so it will be for a 1 mole of atom, right? You are removing the atom electrons from the 1 mole of atom, that is N will be is equal to what? 6.023 into 10 raised to 23, 10 raised to 23. H is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34, and speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, divided by wavelength. Wavelength is given to be 663 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Like if you solve this, I guess this and this will get cancelled nicely. These two things will get cancelled nicely. And let's do this. This is I can write this same number. I'll do it over here only, 6.63. I'll write this 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 7. I can write 663, right? So later after conversion, so you can do this and this could be cancelled nicely. So something 6 3s are 18, 1, and this is 10 raised to 23 and 8. 23 and 8 is how much? 23 and 8 is 31, right? 31, and this is plus 7, so 38. Yes. So answer will be close to 180. After all these things, it will be kilojoules per mole. Answers will be close to, yes, answer is 180 kilojoules per mole. Why kilojoules per mole? Over here the unit, let's talk about the unit also. Unit of the energy. What is this N over here? Like energy, N is, unit is per mole, right? And this is H is joule second, speed is meter per second, and this is meter and meter per second, and so remains is joules per mole. After conversion, what we get is kilojoules per mole. So this is the answer. Okay, this is also a very nice question. Question asked is 60 watt bulb emits a monochromatic light of a wavelength 6620 angstrom. Find the number of photons emitted in 1 minute. So here the power is given. Solution, if you want to solve this here, power is equal to what? Power is equal to energy upon time. So what is energy is equal to? Energy is equal to power multiplied by time. What is energy? Like they have asked for an energy, number of photons. Like supplied energy will be hc by lambda, and n will be what? Number of photons. L defined integral multiple of hc by lambda, right? So this is the thing. Like this is derived from h nu, E is equal to h nu, then nu is equal to c by lambda, and this power is what? 60 watt. For how much time? 1 minute, right? It is 1 minute. So in second it is 60. So n, this is what n I need to find, and here 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34, and this is c is 3 into 10 raised to 8, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and lambda is the wavelength, right? Wavelength is 6620 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter, right? Which is equal to 60 into 60. And finally what you need to do is you need to find the n value, right? Rearrange everything for n. N should come over here. The answer is 1.2. Just check, you can check this later. This is 1.2 into 10 raised to 22. This is the answer for this.